stuck in my brain.
Hello, fellow moaners. Welcome to Make Yourself Moan podcast. I'm your host, Madison Monroe Curtis, and it's time to dive deeper.
Stuck in my brain.
All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Make Yourself Moan podcast. I'm your host, Madison Monroe Curtis, and we have a huge topic today. I'm nervous. Woof. My partner's here. He's in the other room. He's probably going to hear me say some of these things, and that's okay. He is my biggest fan. He listens to every episode, and this is a huge topic within our relationship. I made a drink, not because I need it, or, some would say that I try not to say need a drink, but, liquid courage sometimes is a real thing. Not always, and you don't need it, but I am doing it today. Okay, happy moaning day. Good moaning. Yeah, that's all I got right now. Okay. We as humans tend to want what we think we can't have. Am I wrong? Humans crave what they think they're not allowed to have, and it's usually things that are described as desires, like wanting to have sex with someone other than your partner. Raise your hand if you've ever wanted to have sex with someone that you were not with. I cannot speak for everyone, and I don't like it when people try to. Let's just say more people have said it out loud, or that would tell you. This is a safe space. You think what you have experienced on your own, or maybe you're in the comment section already being like, my no good two-faced boyfriend twice removed, and I feel that. It doesn't have to be bad to want to be romantic or get it on with someone that you're not married to, that you're not in a relationship with, and that is outside of your current relationship. Problems are when it is not communicated and consensual between all parties that are in your relationship. Being in the South at the moment and being from Mississippi, I know that a lot of my audience currently and the people that I interact with day to day and am around, this may be one of the first times you've ever really heard, as long as you haven't left me from this conversation already, don't get scared and leave. If it makes you uncomfortable or nervous, awesome. That means you have a chance to learn, to grow, to be challenged. So don't get scared and leave. Hang out with me for a little while. Bear with me through this, because if nothing else, this is probably not for you. Or it could be. But how do you know? You don't know until you even at least ask hard questions. All right. This is just educational, but I am also not an expert. I have just done some research on my own. I'm going to share my personal experience with this and the experience that me and my partner are currently going through. Right? Juicy. There are also times when we think we want to have sex with someone else that we're not dating or married to. When we say it out loud to a friend or someone we trust, the point is when we say it out loud, sometimes we immediately realize, oh, no, I enjoy that more in my head, but in reality, I don't want to do that. But at least you said it out loud. So you've done another step of your personal journey by allowing yourself to question. Anytime we're shutting ourselves up, shutting down ideas or thoughts, or saying, no, we're not allowed to have that desire. I'm trying to think of a metaphor. It's like killing a part of yourself that might need life, that might be the secret, the next step to getting you to know enough about yourself to get you to the next phase of your life. We have to be brave enough to ask ourselves the hard questions. And then comes dealing with what the answer is as it uncovers itself. And that's what happened to me. Over a year ago, I started having feelings that, I'm in love with my partner and he's incredible. But you ever hear that one person can't ever give you everything you need? Just like you can't be everything to someone else? It's true. That is true. And so I am someone who loves to be uncomfortable in the name of growing. And sometimes it's terrifying. I was terrified, and I still am. It was one of the hardest things I ever did, telling my partner that I feel the need to be intimate with other people. It helped that he, in his past relationships, had been non-monogamous. Polyamory is what he had claimed in previous relationships, and when we got together, I was solely monogamous. And I never thought I would ever be anything other than that. But like you're supposed to, as we move through life and as we're with people, we're meant to grow and evolve and become new in some areas. And so in this area, I did decide that I wanted more than what my partner could give me. But I didn't want to not be with my partner. I would and would continue happily, as long as I could, suppress those things and those desires in that conversation if it meant losing him, which he knows, I've told him. But I wasn't being honest with myself or him as long as I kept that to myself, because it kept growing, it kept coming back, kept shutting it up and pushing it down and pushing it down, and it kept coming up. And then I felt like I was lying to him. Even though nothing had happened, I was not on dating apps, I wasn't flirting with people in that way. I knew that I was discovering a part of me that wasn't going to be okay with staying quiet. So I want to read some statistics with you. Approximately 4 to 5% of Americans, adults, roughly 10 million people, are currently in a consensual, non-monogamous relationship, with 20 to 21% of adults having engaged in some form of non-monogamy at some point in their lives. While 55% of Americans prefer strict monogamy, interest is rising among younger generations, with 61 to 71% of Gen Z being open to non-monogamous relationships. This is Google. I'm going to share a diagram if you want to pause and read it for yourself. It seems really helpful. Also, we'll put it on my social media at Madison Monroe Curtis Instagram. A lot of you probably don't know the different types of non-monogamy, polyamory. It is not one size fits all. It is very much customized. You and your partner, whoever is in your relationship, y'all have to decide what is your boundaries. What one of you want, the other one may not want. Right now, I have discovered I am non-monogamous and my partner is currently monogamous. Or he's choosing to live monogamously with me. I have not gone on a date with anyone. I have not had sex with anyone else while we've been together, but I am quote unquote allowed to. the dating pool out there, guys, that we're going to get to that. And being non-monogamous does not mean you have lowered your standards, that you're desperate, that you're going to take the first person that messages you or the 100th. And it does not mean now you are able to message me and flirt with me. No. No, I am very picky, and no offense, but I have not met anyone that I find appealing in those ways, other than Machine Gun Kelly, which my partner also knows. We're going to break some of these dynamics down. There's just so many. Most people that practice this within their lives, they can't quote all these. So we're going to be more accurate and read them by Google. And that way, when you look it up, you're getting the same and similar answers. I'm always learning. So tell me if you feel I say something incorrectly or how I could have said it better. This is me. I'm not a professional. Again, this is me reading Google and sharing with you my experiences and bringing up hard topics that most people are shying away from. Consensual, ethical non-monogamy. All partners agree to the open structure. Polyamory. Maintaining multiple loving romantic relationships with the knowledge of all partners. Open relationships. Partners may engage in sexual relationships outside their couple, often without emotional attachments. Swinging. Couples exchanging partners for sexual activity. Monogamous. It says monogamish. Primarily monogamous relationships that are occasionally open, often for 1,000 sexual rather than emotional reasons. Relationship anarchy, a structure where individuals do not apply hierarchy, or traditional labels to their relationship, valuing all connections equally. I highly recommend, if you have any interest or curiosity in this subject, listen or read the book More Than Two. I'll post it in my description, links, and I listened to it on Audible, and it was really good for me because at the time I had been really selfish the way I was looking at it and not putting myself in my partner's shoes, and I was prioritizing, as one should at first, is speaking about what I was feeling, what I wanted, but I got lost in that because I stopped being considerate of the fact that he is not currently non-monogamous or open, and nor do I want him to be. And while yes, that is selfish, he has explored that before in relationships. I have never tried anything like this. So I am dealing with a certain type of traditional jealousy and control, and while I am so much farther along this and understand that, it always has to be fair. I cannot go down a path I am not willing to let him go down, because that's not going to work. That is going to blow up in our faces. But he is so great and willing to be patient and not interested or seeking out someone like I might be at times because of our conversations that we have. This topic gets bigger and bigger, I promise you. It is never ending, just like these different relationship dynamics. Because at first, you just want to spit it out. Then, y'all need to figure out how to have structured conversations around this topic, but you don't want it to destroy every area of your life. So we have found you do relationship check-ins, and you should do this in general, not just if you're possibly changing how y'all go through life together, but in general. Or, hey, like check-ins are on every other Friday or one Friday a month or Mondays twice a week, and you just check in and say, look, you've been doing so many great things, but you've kind of stopped doing the dishes at all, and I'm tired of doing them all on my own. What do we need to do? Paper plates from here on out? Do we need to assign certain nights of the week to do them? Hey, I've been doing all the laundry and you haven't. Or hey, I don't like that you've been working late every night this week. I feel like you're not prioritizing our time together, and I feel left out. I feel unloved, or I don't like the way you're talking to our dogs. I don't like the way I'm talking. You need times that are devoted to talking about hard things. And for us, this was a big part of that. Because we tried doing it while we were eating, but it just became like a bomb. It didn't feel good to just have this hard topic bomb dropped off on you or us while we were eating, because you never know how it's going to make you feel or the other person feel. So we stopped doing it when we were eating. We started going on walks to have this conversation because it created an environment that was not where we lived, and we tried to make it special. So it was a date, but focused. We knew what we were going to be talking about. And we knew that we didn't need to finish this date or end it until we got to a place where we felt good until the next check-in. So this one time we went on a walk at a park. We got Starbucks beforehand, and we walked and sat and talked for about 4 hours. And it was hard. It was emotional. I cried. He brought up really good points. Some things he had been worried about were not on my radar at all, or didn't even exist for me, but he had built it up in his imagination. And it's going to hurt and be different and be hard, but also can be very beautiful. Some core characteristics you need to harness and work on during these conversations and times, and always, but especially when you're talking about opening up your relationship. You need to be considerate, open-minded, patient, and honest. You have got to be honest. And sometimes being honest is saying, I have no idea how to answer that right now, but I will be working on that. And hey, I have something that I need to tell you, but I don't want it to take over our night. Hey, can we schedule a check-in, because there's some updates I want to talk about. And whatever part of the journey you're on, it'll look differently in what you're talking about, how each other are reacting. And again, sometimes when you say it out loud, you don't like how it feels or sounds, and so then you regroup, you readjust. And if you feel like you're pushing your partner that you're in love with away for something that you haven't found, it makes sense to be like, hey, let's close the book on this for now. We're going to just put it away. It's still on the end table, but we are going to go focus on each other right now. We're in therapy, or we're going to go on vacation. We are going to go on more dates because you are important to me. And we are going to keep feeding our relationship first and foremost. Because the goal in this category is not to replace your partner. It is not to find someone you like more than them. It is not because you're selfish and want your cake and eat it too. It might feel like that at times, but that's why it's more than that. That fades. And you'll be able to feel the difference. When I was going through the book More Than Two, it taught me so much. It was able to describe and define what these terms are and how do you know if one fits you or not. Why I think that I'm non-monogamous and exploring it furtherly if I am, and if it's not something that I can just forget about, is I've always loved more than one person at a time. And I always wished I could combine, these features from this person and these characteristics from this person, or how I had this great sexual connection with this person, but this person was super thoughtful and romantic and sweet, but I didn't get everything from them or them. And you can't combine two people as one. And you don't just simply have to be unsatisfied in all of these areas. Sometimes you find someone that satisfies you in all these ways, and I have found that, but I still want more sometimes. And sometimes I don't. But I'm so grateful that I'm talking to my partner about those thoughts and those desires. And a lot of it's on me to work out, but it involves him. And most of the time, he is very supportive. And if he's struggling to be supportive, he takes a step back and tells me that it's hard for him in this moment. And he's going to work on it. And he comes back and he has worked on it. And we are over a year into having these conversations. And I have not acted by actually going on a date or being sexually active with anyone. I have tried dating apps and messaged some people and tried Snapchat, and good gracious, that's just not really for me. People's profile pictures alone on these dating apps are ridiculous most of the time. They're holding a fish, they're with a group of people and you don't know which one it is. They're with a significant other, which is fine if you put in the details, we're a couple looking for a third, but sometimes they're portraying that they're a single man, but they have an attractive girl in their photo. She is like, this your mom? Is it your sister? Is it your girlfriend? People. I'm about to start offering my services to be a photographer for people's dating profile pictures, because y'all need help out there. It's exhausting. The dating profiles or the dating apps are exhausting. I feel like it's always just obnoxious, unsolicited dick pics, people wanting you to join Snapchat and talk there and just send constant pointless pictures to each other. It's not for me. I don't get it. It does not make me moan. I will say that. This will not be the last time we talk about this topic. I'm sure of it. Something else I've learned through doing it poorly and then learning a better way is you do not view people as need fulfillers. While you have needs that you want fulfilled, the people that you are seeking out, talking to, getting to know, they are humans just like you, and they deserve respect and consideration and thoughtfulness. If they're not giving you those things, then move on to the next person, but you should give them those things too. And for the first few people I said hello to, I was very horse blinders on of, are they 6'4"? Do they wear skinny jeans? Are they tattooed? Can they do a kickflip on a skateboard? Can they play me a song on the guitar? How big is their eggplant? My partner not only recommending this book that we both listened to separately and then would talk about together, him and this book helped me better look at not viewing people in that way. I'm so grateful, because I don't want to look at people that way. I don't want someone to look at me that way. So it's things like that this book, More Than Two, can help you navigate through. And again, even if you get to the end of the book and it's not for you at all, you've learned some stuff. And you've learned more ways that people live their life. And just like so many things in this world, aren't always a choice. It is a choice to act on it and to feed it, to grow it. But certain feelings and desires and opportunities are just natural. This is the 20th century. We are blessed to have so much more information and knowledge and opportunities out there. You're not doing yourself any favors if you're not willing to explore what those are. Be honest when you make a mistake, when you've tried something that didn't work out for you, but can you really know something's not for you if you don't look into it or maybe try it? Some things, yeah, you don't have to try heroin to know that heroin should not be for you. You don't have to self-harm yourself to realize that's not good for you. Don't take what I'm saying in a purposefully ridiculous wrong way. And if you have further questions of what I'm meaning, be smart. You're smart. I am just here to connect you to maybe opportunities or thoughts or information that no one else has ever shared with you. Because I lived a long time before hearing the good, the positive, the pros of things like non-monogamy. For so long, I thought you can just get cheated on and it's supposed to be okay. No, cheating is when someone acts a certain way outside of your relationship and it was not consensual to you. It was not communicated with you that there was interest there before they acted on it, and you found out about it after the fact. You felt betrayed. That is not what non-monogamy is. There can be cheating within non-monogamy. Some of you may think that that's crazy. Sex, intimacy, relationships are so beautiful. We are meant to connect with other humans in so many different ways. If there's something out there that you want to know more about, find someone who knows more about it than you and just have a conversation over coffee, over wine, over water, and explore more of what's out there in the world. Don't keep yourself in the box that others around you have tried to keep you in since the time you came into this world. Sometimes our partners try to keep us in a box, and that's not a good partner, or your partner's not doing a good thing. I know and remember far too well what it's like to have a partner that is not so encouraging for me to explore myself in every way that I feel like I need to. And I know a lot of people who love their partner and are married with kids. They're not necessarily in a position where they can or would want to or should say, you don't support me in all the ways I need to explore myself, so peace out. That's not in your cards right now, but I mean, it could be. You can always leave. You are never stuck. And when you feel stuck, there is help out there. I promise. There is help out there, and distance is needed in those times because you gotta step away long enough to get their claws and their manipulation and their gaslighting out of your head. And that takes weeks, months, and it's going to be back and forth because you're going to be away from them for a few days or a few weeks, and you're going to miss them, and you're going to be like, they're my home, and they're going to apologize, and they're going to say, I'm going to be different, and they're going to do all the things that they should have been doing this whole time for a little while, and then they'll stop again. And sometimes, like 1% of the time, they might actually change. So you have to know, and you do know where your limits are. And surround yourself with at least one person, preferably a group of people, but at least one person who you will listen to when they say, I'm worried about you. You don't seem happy. You don't seem like yourself ever since you got with this person. I see this. And sometimes we can't trust ourselves. I'm on a tangent, but I have been hurt many times in relationships, and I've hurt people in relationships, and that was unnecessary. Now I'm in a beautiful relationship, and I'm talking to you about things that could risk it all. But sometimes it's worth risking everything you love most to discover more of yourself. And when it does feel like it's too much of a risk, or it's doing more hurting or taking than it is giving, readjust. I tell my partner all the time, hey, yes, I need this, I want this, and I had to talk to you about it. And I don't know what it looks like, it's scary. But if this is pushing you away right now, then I'm putting this to the side, and we're going to keep doing us. And I'll let you know when this comes back up. We've had those talks before too. Everything has risk. Speaking up has great risk, but staying silent, if you ask me, has greater risk. Because everyone loses. You're suppressing yourself, and you're keeping valuable information from the person that deserves to know. If you believe they can't handle it, well then maybe start somewhere else first. Couples therapy, relationship check-ins, and start by, unravel. Go back. Maybe you have a long list of stuff you haven't been expressing to them. So this seems way too big, and if that's the case, this is way too big. You need to start with saying, like, I wish you would start my car on cold mornings because that's really sweet. Or I wish you would put more effort into your appearance. When's the last time you sprayed cologne before you came to bed? When's the last time you bought a new shirt to wear when we go out to eat? Have those types of conversations too. And you don't start with the really big bomb. You start with the little, fire, the sparklers. Start with the sparklers and you work your way up to the big things. Life is too short not to talk about all the things. And it makes me moan to have that level of communication, honesty, not only just with myself, but with my partnership and then with my family. I've talked to my family, my mom, about, open relationships, the desire to have a threesome. Like, me and my mom talk about our sex lives, since it is something that all humans have either done, thought about, talked about, or trying to restrain from, or have an addiction to. It is a very real topic, and it's not doing us any favors to put it in this category of, I can only talk to my bros about it, and we're talking about it in an immature, unhealthy way, and we're ending it there. I know that this conversation alone it may feel like a bomb, or like, whoa, I can't believe she's talking about that. She's from the South, or I know her. Wow, she's changed, or I wonder if I have a chance with her. This is me coming just forth and laying it all out in hopes that it may help someone else out there that needs to lay it all out for themselves before they do it with anyone else. I encourage you, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I suppressing anything that I've wanted or want? Do I feel shame around it? And is it shame because I think it's wrong, or is it because my family would think it's wrong, or I assume that my partner would leave me? I can't answer those things. Just, life is short, so talk about it. Talk about hard things. You can do hard things, and good luck. I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Find something that makes you moan. Until next time, I'm Madison Monroe Curtis, and this is my podcast, Make Yourself Moan. Please like, subscribe, follow, send me topics, conversations that you're afraid to have, and I'll keep it anonymous. I will be happy to touch on it with whatever you bring up with me. And as always, I'm so grateful for all the time that you've given me, and you're special. Go live a loud life, make yourself moan, and quit letting shame drive your life. Okay. Peace. Bye.
Stuck in the frame.
Thank you for tuning in to Make Yourself Moan. Remember, self-love and raw truth are your power. So keep diving deeper and turning up the volume on truth and healing. Until next time, I'm Madison Monroe Curtis, sending you love and loud moans of confidence. If you feel led to, please follow me, like, subscribe on all those socials. I'd love it if you send or email me any and all topics on your heart and brain, and let's unravel those together. Until next time, just keep moaning.